Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, it's always good to see you and welcome back to the committee. And during these waning days of the Obama administration, I want you to know that for some of us, you will always be our rock star, superstar secretary. And we certainly
For
appreciate
128 more days.
Mr. Secretary, it's been indeed a pleasure working with you to establish the critically important Minorities and Energy Initiative at DOE, and that sometime before those 128 days are up, I would like to sit down with you and look at the progress and what needs to be done and what we've accomplished so far in this particular area. So my staff will be in contact with the appropriate people in order for us to arrange that meeting.
That would be a pleasure, and particularly if we could help to set up the transition to the next administration to continue that work.
Well, I look forward to it. Mr. Secretary, in the energy bill, in the House bill, there's a provision that would have delayed any action on new efficiency standards for furnaces until after the department had issued a supplemental notice of proposed rulemaking. This was a provision that Chairman Whitfield and I put together by bringing together all the industry stakeholders and all the efficiency community stakeholders in a room together and having them negotiate directly with each other until a consensus was reached. To the best of my knowledge, everyone on both sides of the aisle supported that provision. However, a little less than 2 weeks ago, your department actually issued that stated supplemental notice of proposed rulemaking. To my mind, Mr. Secretary, you met the bar that we, and more importantly, the stakeholders set for you in the House bill as a condition for moving forward with the first new furnace efficiency standards in around 15 years. Now, as we are in conference on the House and Senate energy package, we have proposed that the House provision, as well as the similar provisions in the Senate bill, be dropped because, once again, Mr. Secretary, and I emphasize, you met the bar that we set for you. Do you agree that we should let the department move forward on the standards now that you have done what we asked? And if some of the stakeholders are unhappy and have threatened to take this to the courts, should we either let the courts handle this as the American Gas Association publicly proposed, or let you and the department attempt to respond to these concerns? Is it in your court, and shouldn't it be in your court right now?
Yes, Congressman Rush, I completely agree with you that I think this process has worked well for all kinds of efficiency standards. We go through the process, we listen, which is why, as you said, we heard the input of industry, acknowledged that there were some issues raised. That's why we went back with the SNOPR, which did establish a new class of small furnaces, addressed certainly, perhaps not all, but some certainly of the industry's concerns. So this is working. We are now absorbing their comments on the SNOPR, and we would look to try to get a final rule out actually this year. So the process is working, and I think there's a slippery slope if one starts to have the process interfered with for very specific rulemakings, and because we do have a successful process that we are executing expeditiously. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentleman is